Welcome back. This is Point of View. I'm Mark Leishman. My special guest is Tim Adams. He's the Bayer Young Viticulturist of the Year. Tim, there's one event called the, let's get it right here, BioStart Horti Sports. The title in itself is intriguing, but tell us about that one.
Yeah, so BioStart put on almost like a multi-sport event in which you have to compete alongside the other competitors and do a variety of different things. The chaps from BioStart really enjoy mixing this up. So in the past, I've seen anything from debreasting a duck to making a pair of stilts to very very random things.
So not related necessarily to.
Not necessarily. Like the basis of it will be viticultural, yeah. But there's other things in there to kind of throw you as you go. Yeah. So for example, this year the first thing that we had to do was assemble a chainsaw, get that going. And then there was trellising and chemical work in there as well. There's often wine tasting, and this is all done in a race-style format. Yeah, you're doing it at speed. Sorry. Yeah, it's hey, look, it's a great thing to stop by and just watch because I think it's hilarious. Yeah. And really a good opportunity to get down and support whoever you're there for. Yeah.
How many competitors are there in the?
There was 6 in this year's final. But that changes year to year depending on the number of areas that generally enter.
And many women involved?
This year we did actually have Annabelle Bulk from down in Central Otago, representing her region, so yeah.
Oh, that was good. That's good to get the diversity in there. And as part of the competition, you have to do the speech. You mentioned that before. Tell us a wee bit about that.
Look, we're each given a different speech topic. It's only a 3-minute affair. But my topic this year was to do with powdery mildew and the approach, which is a fungal disease that affects grapes, and the way in which we approach that in New Zealand. The speech is always a real hard one on the point that sometimes the topic can be a bit dry, like fungal diseases of grapes, which is good because it challenges you to think perhaps outside the box. And it's only 3 minutes, so that...
Is it in front of an audience?
Yes, it's always in front of an audience. This year it was actually in the auditorium of where Brigado Conference was held in Marlborough. Yeah, so a few people watching, yes.
Yeah. And it went okay, obviously it did.
I think so, yeah.
And the challenges that face, I guess, the industry, I'm sure this question was asked by various judges there, Yeah. Where do you think it's going? What is the main challenge?
The main challenge? Yeah, look, I think the continual challenge with wine is keeping up with vogue, just changes and trends, and also maintaining whatever edge you do have. So for us in New Zealand, it's our quality. So maintaining that high quality product of which we're known for, and a more environmental question that comes to mind is climate change and how that's going to affect what we're doing.
And how do you see that affecting things?
Yeah, look, the reality is that growing grapes and farming is based on their environment and you can't escape it. So to keeping that in mind, we're going to have to change how we're doing things, whether that be what we grow, where we grow it, and using the science and the knowledge in a clever way to combat any issues that may arise. Yeah.
Do you see New Zealand wine as being a premium product? I mean, sometimes I think the last couple of vintages there was a lot of wine produced, and so the danger is you get too much, you want to sell it cheaper to get rid of it, basically, to move it on. Look, is that an issue that we've got to be conscious of to maintain that level of not making too much, so that we retains a little bit like Obsidian, small vineyard, but it has a unique attraction.
Yes, so I think that's something that, as the wine community, they acknowledge that it's happened in the past, and so it's very on the forefront of our minds that we can't basically trade off quality for quantity, because it will, like you say, it may come to bite you in the end. So yes, no, I think that's something of which people are very mindful of, and we should be able to STEMI in the future. Yeah.
What about the future? 5 to 10 years out, where do you see New Zealand's wine industry?
Look, I think Sauvignon Blanc, will still be our major production grape. However, with things we talked about like climate change creeping in, and the way that New Zealanders are of just being experimenters and wanting to get things right through trial and error, I see a lot more of different, probably non-traditional grapes being grown. So things outside of the likes of your Sauvignon Blanc. But I also see things like Pinot Noir, which is is an amazing grape with a high quality. I think that's going to rise the ranks as well. Yeah, on the world stage.
So So we won't be known just for our Sauvignons. That
I think we still will be known for Sauvignon because we grow a lot of it. But I think there will be other place markers on the map for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And do you think our red wines are really good and have a tremendous future?
Yeah, I think they're awesome. Yeah, I think ours at Obsidian are awesome. I think them across the country are awesome, and there's such a variety as well. We have big, bold, structured wines coming out of the likes of Hawke's Bay, and then like the Pinots that come out of Central are extremely concentrated and really wines of finesse as well. So yeah, I think we can be really proud of them.
Now you go on and you represent the wine industry in the Young Horticulturist of the Year. This is the next competition. This is in November. Now that will bring a whole bunch of new challenges, presumably. Is that right? Explain that competition.
So much in the same vein as the Young Viticulturist competition, it has a variety of different sections, but it's not based on exactly what I do. So it's a range. So once again, it's just going to be having to expand the knowledge further and encompass what I'm not really comfortable with, which is interesting and exciting at the same time.
Can you get that knowledge on the island, or do you have to go elsewhere?
Oh, we have this amazing thing on the island called the internet. So we're able to
electricity too.
Yeah. No, so look, I think it's all available, and the support network that the Young Horticulturist body produces for you is huge. So you can draw on a lot of exterior knowledge.
Has a viticulturist won that?
Yes. In fact, we have a really strong standing with the horticultural competition.
And is there any one thing that you have learned, or anything that you're planning to focus on that is right out of left field in terms of horticulture and your own experience?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think taking the same approach of being good at everything, but not intensely amazing at one thing is probably going to be my approach. Just trying to get that breadth of knowledge. I think that will be the best tool going forward. Yeah.
Where is that competition?
It's held in two places. It's actually held in the Botanical Gardens. Oh, okay. Yeah, in Auckland, and the other half is actually held in the Millennium Hotel.
Oh, yeah. So the sort of the theory side of it, the computer work, etc. Mm-hmm. And again, how many competitors and
So there are 6 of us, I think. So there's 6 from different regions of horticulture. So we've got everything from landscapers to florists to me. So we're very very different. Yeah.
What has it done for you to have won this the Viticulturist of the Year, the Young Viticulturist? I mean, in terms of I know you're very happy in what you're doing, but the prizes and also have sort of been introduced to people that you wouldn't have necessarily?
Most definitely. So the prizes are huge. Obviously, Bayer invests a huge amount of time and effort and money into making sure that the goal of winning this is really worthwhile. And Hyundai New Zealand as well put up a car for a year, so that's a fantastic prize. What it's done for me personally. Look, it's a massive validation of my time and effort, and my family's time and effort as well, of putting up with Dad not being around because he's studying or whatever. But it also, as a community of wine growers on the island, I think it's put our hand up, and we've shown that we can compete and win with the best in New Zealand, and there's no reason that we can't continue to do so. Yeah.
Is there a good community in the wine industry on the island?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so you're working with each other a bit?
100%, yeah. So, I mean, it's born out of probably necessity in the fact that because we are so small, we have to share resource.
Yes.
And from that, you make friends with people and you do life together. So it's not just at work, but it extends further than that. Your kids go to school together and you go and watch the rugby together and things like that. So very much so.
And tell us about production on the island. I mean, where is it? You obviously grow the grapes there.
Yeah.
What happens then? Is it all taken off the island?
No. The majority is held on island and made into wine there. So it's all done in-house. In terms of exporting it off the island and stuff, like bottling and things are generally done over in the city. But just depends on the winery and the vineyard. Yeah. Mm.
And there's plenty of outlets to buy Obsidian wine, because I'm very interested.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, you can get in contact with us directly, of course, at a website. But we do sell at multiple places in town, as well as on Waiheke as well. But just come visit us would be the best way. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. I'll take that invitation up. I promise in the summer it'll be perfect. So what advice would you give to someone's out there watching and thinking, I might give that a go? That young viticulturist of the year thing.
100%. Yeah.
What would you suggest they do, and why?
So my advice first off would be have a go. If anything, you're gonna put your hand up and put a face to a name, and say that you're willing to give things a go, which I think is huge. Not only that, you're pushed to learn a whole lot, and in areas of which you may not have ever been exposed, which is massive as well, and will put you in good stead to move on potentially in the future. You meet heaps of great people, and the recognition is massive as well. It's pretty intangible, the amount of support and stuff as well you get given through the whole network of New Zealand wine growers and everyone else you do meet. So and that really is invaluable going forward. Yeah.
I guess that's the thing, isn't it? You're getting your name out there, you're meeting all sorts of people from all over the country, which you probably wouldn't necessarily do when you're on the island and you're busy working.
Yeah, 100%, and it allows that iron sharpens iron mentality as well. You're around people that are fiercely passionate and clever and smart, and that rubs off on you eventually, whether you like it or not. So by surrounding yourself with the people that you are in contact with is huge. Yeah.
So that's our program for another week. Thank you so much for your company. Hope you enjoyed it, learning a little bit about wine, and have a think about those lovely reds and those lovely whites that we produce here in New Zealand. We'll see you next time with more points of view. See you then.